It's always been like hard for me to get behind a camera and just start talking whatever's like going on in my little noggin. I really thought that today was a really special time to really just like reflect. Like also look back on a few things that have been going on in college. So for context, I am a fourth year and I think I'm about to graduate. Like I'm about a month out, about to walk, about to go into the post grad life. Not really, actually. I mean, I'm going to like another undergrad after this, so like I guess it's like kind of like a hard reset. But yeah, every Monday and Wednesday, I have this thing called PC Practicum. It's this little like discussion circle that I host with a group of people and we talk about a topic. These topics can usually bring out a deeper understanding of each other, a deeper understanding of ourselves. And I think that tonight's topic was a really unique one because I didn't think that I would reflect so deeply on a topic that I thought I had at least a general understanding of what it meant to me. So the topic that we talked about tonight was balance and just finding balance in yourself and also like finding balance in how you interact with people, like simple stuff. And like I thought that in hosting this meeting, I was going to help understand interpreting balance and just like getting an understanding. But little did I know that discussion that was held would like strike something so deep within me that I never really like had a full-on conversation with myself about. So one person in this discussion mentioned the whole like context of like time, and specifically this individual was also in their fourth year of college. Like they're about to graduate. They're also not from like the town that the college is in. They're like on their last few months here before they have to move back home. And in the discussion, they brought up this idea, running out of time, trying to build all of these meaningful connections that have built up their college career. And it was like really like vague and professional to say, but the way that they spoke about it just kind of like hit a nerve in me because as someone who like I never really had any close friends that I made in college. Most of my friends were kind of like back at home. I had like a pretty solid friend group. I had a pretty solid group of people that like I could call family. And I'm very grateful for that. And like in my first 2 years of college, like having that sense of security within those people, I was never prompted to make deeper connections like that with other people. Not to say that I didn't put myself out there, but I guess when I was presented with the opportunity to meet new people, I didn't really like seize the full opportunity, especially in like the midst of my first year of college. For anyone that's going into or even just like experiencing their first few years in college, that's probably like the best time to network and just like interact with people. It's just like a fresh start for everybody and like everyone's getting used to the new environment. Everyone's new to this whole stage of life. And I think it's like a really unique point where everyone's kind of like on the same boat. So I entered my third year of college. Coming back, I came back as a commuter. I lived 2 years on campus despite living 2 years on campus. That's probably like one of my biggest regrets. I never really like put myself out there in like a space offered to me. Coming back as a commuter, like I really just wanted to get that experience back, And I guess like I don't know if I could speak upon the others that maybe on the same boat, especially like if you're a transfer, there's like that feeling where okay, like you're transferring out of CC and then you're like transitioning to uni and then everyone your age is like kind of like already organized into like their little groups because they like came in as first years, and it's like this whole stigma or this thing where like it's like hard to make friends. I felt like I kind of shared that same sentiment where most of the people that entered with me my first year doing a lot of these things have kind of like already made their like exit. Everyone was kind of just like doing their own thing. And not to say that that's like a bad thing either. I think that in a way it also helped me understand to be a little bit more selfish in the sense that everyone was kind of goal driven and passionate about like, you know, their future goals and aspirations. That's probably like the thing that not a lot of people recognize in college, despite it being like one of the most social parts of like a young adult's life. It's also the point where I feel like you're the most like selfish out of all of your peers. Because at the end of the day, you know, everyone is there to like get their degree, to like get their job, get their like future sorted out. All of the other people that like kind of like build up like your life are just kind of like add-ons, or like they're like these points in time that, you know, like just come and go. And so like with everything being like said and done, I think that despite that, I think my last 2 years here in uni was probably like the most involved that I became with school orgs and communities. So it was like a very rocky kind of experience because most of my fellow third years and fourth years were also kind of out. I was kind of put in this like new boat with a fresh new group of people and like maybe like a few transfers. I'll admit it was very hard for me to find a space. For context, I'm Filipino too, and like my dumbass decided to stick to like an all Filipino org. Looking at the scope of everything now probably wasn't the best idea. Eventually, in my third year, I found this little community called the Peer Counseling Program, and it was probably the first time that I really found a sense of community within like a smaller group of people. It was this weird period. We were getting to know each other on like such a deeper level for like a year. At times, we would meet and then we go back to being strangers. It was a great experience. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I met a lot of great people there. It was the space that like kept me retained within the Filipino community at my school. Going back to the relevant discussion from what I had tonight, I think that it really just like put in a full circle of a lot of these like opportunities that I had, making these deeper connections, long lasting friendships with people. At times, I would become a little bit unsure if I had the time or the capacity to really develop those strong relationships with people. And that was also with conflicting values of I was already so goal driven and focused on my own personal goals and my own personal growth. I slowly became more closed off to people, not necessarily because, you know, they were bad people or anything. I felt that like I was in a point in my life where people weren't something that I needed. But the more I also recognized how much people have like allowed me to grow and like impact my life, it almost makes me kind of sad when I'm presented with so many amazing opportunities and I feel like time is running out. I only have like 3 months left here at this school, and quite frankly there is a good handful of people that I would love to get to know on a little bit of a deeper level. But I guess too, it's also that fear that it's also because a good handful of those people are also in that same position where I fear that because of that lack of time spent and the energy that was put into those experiences, that it almost feels like my value is still not as important as like the others that have come before me. It's not really like a good mindset to be in, but it's just something I consciously think about a lot, especially with the relationships I'm fostering and continuing to foster as I end this like chapter of my undergrad career. To be honest, like my best hope right now is to those people that may be listening to this right now and are probably feeling the same way that I am. I just hope, despite the shortened time and little confined box that it feels like with this experience that we have left, we approach it with a little bit more gratitude, give ourselves a little bit more grace. We are the ones that make those meaningful experiences. If we really wanted to put that investment in those people, they will sacrifice their time and efforts to still go out of their way to make that happen with you. So you just kind of have to like take that risk, show that intention. And I guess that's something I fear the most because I truly don't know how much people actually care or if people are actually paying attention. It's kind of a crazy thought that I just like has been on my mind ever since I left. But you know, it's also super late, probably just going crazy. But if anyone's there sharing the same thoughts, hit a brother up, man. I'm probably gonna head to bed. It's like almost 1 a.m. So I'll catch y'all in the next one.